What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video here on I Didn't Do It 97. Good to see you. As you guys may or may not know, I'm a big fan of Automobilista 2. I think it's one of the best and most diverse sim racing games you will find out there on the market. I play the game a lot between all the formula content that's in the game, the most recent stuff that they've implemented with updating GT3 cars, coming out with the GT3 Gen 2s, coming out with the LMDH cars, adding Le Mans to the game, which I've been asking for years now. And of course, you know how great the VR experience is. As a whole, the game is just absolutely phenomenal. Highly recommend it. I discovered a mod that adds the LMP1 cars from the 2016 WEC season that gives you the Audi, the Porsche, and the Toyota. All three obviously ran at Le Mans that year. All three cars featured in Project Cars 2. I will have a link in the description down below for you to go check out that mod yourself. But what I want to put to the test is I want to see just how much quicker the LMDHs or the GTPs are in comparison to the LMP1 cars, if they're even that much quicker at all. And of course, we're going to test that at Le Mans because that just makes the most sense. And we're going to be doing it in VR. As I kind of mentioned before, VR experience is absolutely incredible. Absolutely enjoy it. We're going to use the MetaQuest 3 SSIO. All right. As always, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And yeah, let's dive in. All right, so here we are. As you can see, the LMP1 2016 cars here. We have the Porsche, the Audi, and the Toyota. Toyota is obviously, they've dominated the 2010s. When it came to Le Mans last year, we had the Ferrari win, which was absolutely incredible. And the hypercar, love the hypercars. I think they're awesome. I hope we continue to see an expansion of that, see more teams get involved in the hypercar like they want to. Time will tell on all of that, but these cars were also great for their time. I mean, there's absolutely no question about that. Very light. We're able to stick to the track pretty well. Obviously not as fast as like an F1 car by any means or anything like that. And when you compare it to the LMDH cars or the GTP cars, they are a little bit lighter, but the GTPs carry a little bit more horsepower, a little bit more torque. So overall, a little bit faster and have a lot more options. Of course, they're also using hybrid engines compared to standard V6 and Porsche V4 engine as well. But we're gonna hop out on the track on the Toyota and see what kind of time we can put up, and let's go from there. So here we are. I gotta say, I've only messed around with this mod just a small bit. Haven't really done too much. Very well done though. I mean, everything looks really good, looks really solid as a whole. Again, very well designed. Car sounds great. Really enjoy it. Obviously, one thing that was really neat with these cars is that they offered a curve system similar to the F1 cars back in this time. It worked a little bit different than the modern day battery that we see in the GTPs or even in an F1 car nowadays, but similar concepts where you hit a button, it makes you go faster. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward stuff there. And the way it recharges is, well, under braking. Similar system, right? So difference is now, obviously, the modern day battery, you can kind of choose how much deployment you want to use at all times, so to speak. So in other words, it's better control and a little bit more gradual of a speed or of a boost, I should say, in comparison to the curve system that we used to see. Now, ultimately, this car holds the lap record, or at least it was the year after, but pretty much the same car. Holds the lap record at this track with a 3-minute 14.8 lap time that was set by Kamui Kobayashi. That's kind of the time I'm ultimately aiming for. If I can beat that time, that'd be awesome. That's ultimately the time I'm going for, and yeah, we're gonna see what we can do as we come out of the Porsche curves here. Already off to a bad start, I overdrove into the corner. See if we can make up that time. We're heading to the Dunlop chicane, giving the throttle nice and easy. Back up through the gears. Small little tap of the brake kind of cut the corner there, but we're going to ignore that. And we've already maxed out. Kind of used a little bit too much curve deployment, but that's okay. Now we've kind of reached max revs quicker than I want to. Unfortunately, I can't adjust the gear ratio at all for the setup. It just doesn't let me. So I'm not really able to get the top speeds that I would like, or at least that I know I can definitely get. We're going to go back up through the gears here, add a little bit of curves involved here. Now, you do have a limit as to how much you can use of that deployment. After so long, obviously, it's just that's it. It's done, even if you still have enough left in the tank. Unfortunately, it just doesn't let you. We go down through the gears here, kind of overdrove the chicane just a little bit. Traction control kind of kicking in. Now, that curve system was insane. I mean, it was it was like a nitrous system with how quickly your car would just have that speed boost. So we're gonna go late onto the brakes here. Nice and heavy. Kind of overdrove it again. Back up through the gears. God, I gotta say, I absolutely love this track. And now that they've actually finally completed everything on the outskirts of the track as far as the environment goes, they've done a very, very, very good job at recreating this track in this game. Back up through the gears here as we get ready to head into the Porsche curves. We'll go pretty much flat out through there. Be a little bit easier through here. I'm pretty much going to use all our curves from here to the line. Oh, a little too hot there. A little too hot. A little sloppy. Ultimately, we're going to cross the line with a 319.4. I'm going to try to see if I can improve on that, though. Well, alright, that ruined that lap. Somehow still went faster even after jumping it in the last corner there. Ultimately, we would have went up about 2 seconds. Potential was 316.9, so we're going to run off that. I think we would have been pretty close to that. I think we would have been like a low 317. So we're just going to run off that. We're going to say we did the 316.9, because, yeah. All in all, a good lap. Again, unfortunately, I'm kind of limited by, you know, what I could do with the gear ratio, because unfortunately it doesn't let me adjust it at all. You know, otherwise I can definitely carry a lot more top speed on the straights there, on the Mulsanne straights, but, you know, is what it is. But now let's go ahead and test and see how the GTP does here around Le Mans in comparison. Can we beat a 316.9 in the GTP? Let's go find out. All right, so now we're going to test GTP, the LMDH, around Le Mans, which we've done before. We've done some videos in the past with it, a couple streams as well. And I mean, I've driven this car plenty of times in this game. It's a ton of fun. We're going to do it with the Red Caddy because it's just, how can you not drive the Cadillac? It's just absolutely gorgeous, not only in sound, but in sight. It's just perfect. Just absolute perfection. V8 engine, again, more horsepower, more torque, heavier car as a whole, a completely different system. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna give this a shot, and yeah, let's see how we get on. So here we are. I want you to listen. That is such a beautiful sound. Cadillac, LMDH, GTP. Again, these cars are an absolutely just great addition to this game. Currently, the only game that features these cars outside of AMS2 is iRacing until we see Le Mans Ultimate come out in not that long, almost a week now, which I'm actually pretty excited about. Can't wait to showcase that. We'll definitely be streaming it, so be sure to tune into that. But I gotta say, I mean, again, these guys have done a really good job with this content. God, this car sounds so good. But yeah, no, these guys have done a great job with this content as a whole. I think it's just very, very well done in many ways. It does kind of suck that for the LMDHs, the GTPs, that we only have the guys that have been featured really just in the IMSA series with Porsche, the BMW, and the Cadillac. I know they've talked about it with that, the last major update. They talked about, you know, future updates where, you know, they see some people of the Italian variety or Latin variety, something along those lines. I can't remember, but yeah, as a whole, pretty excited for the future of this game still. I think it's just only going to continue to improve, continue to grow, and again, if you've never played it, absolutely recommend it. This is not an ad by any means. It's just, again, I mean, I'm just somebody who just genuinely enjoys the game. Alrighty, coming around the Porsche curves. This car definitely feels a little bit slidier in comparison. We go late on the brake here. little bit more of a handful to control. We're going into qualified attack mode or qualify battery mode. Let's go try to set a hot lap. Like I said, 3:16.94. That's the time that we're trying to be with this car. Is it possible? Alright, great start. Alright, here we go. Let's try this again. This time, let's not completely miss the first corner. Getting up over 330 kilos on the straight there. I mean, it just goes to show you just the amount of power this thing has. Granted, V8 engine compared to the V6 engine, but still, I mean, just insane power. Coming up to the final two chicanes here. I mean, we're definitely not going to have a faster lap. I mean, as a whole, that lap felt pretty good, but I mean, ultimately, these cars are just so much heavier. A little bit harder to control at the rear. Across the line, it's a 327.9. So, significantly slower than what the LMP1 car was. Now, obviously, going into this, we already kind of knew the LMP1 car is a faster car than the GTP, and ultimately, this is a tough comparison to make, because obviously, GTP, or, you know, the LMDH, whatever you want to call it, it's kind of more specific to the IMSA series, which, you know, WEC is using hypercars in replacement with the LMP1s, and those cars do work a little bit different than the GTPs do. I gotta say, as a whole, man, that mod is very well designed. It's very well done. Like I said, I'll have a link in the description down below. Ultimately, I'm not the best guy to go around testing this stuff. You know, I mean, I am a very average, at best, racer when it comes to my skill level. So if you yourself want to give it a try, again, link in the description down below for you to download that mod for yourself. And then, of course, you can just go to Steam and buy AMS2, buy all the DLC for it, and sit back, relax, have yourself a good time with it. But again, ultimately, man, I just wanted to kind of showcase this mod, showcase just really the game once again as a whole, because it truly is a great game, and I don't think enough people really know about it or give it the credit that it's due. But that's going to do it for the video. Once again, if you liked it, be sure to leave a like and let me know in the comments down below what you think. As always, stay safe out there, be kind to one another, love one another. Adios, peace out. Catch you guys later.